Hi, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well on this last few days before 2025. I see a lot of people in the chat. Let me just go over here real quick. Oh, Chronicles here. KBA, Michael Schaefer. I see Rob K. Last Call is here. Stephen M. Scott Knudsen. Peter Moline, Johnny Sorensen, Jeremy Kerr is here. SXHBK is here. Mayumi's here. Velvet, Ron, William C. Netter is here. And I'm opening a box from you guys. And I'm also going to have to get used to looking this way because I keep wanting to look up there and there's no camera. Okay. All right. I see Imperial Bricks is here. I see Tim Ward is here. Wolfie is here. All right, great, cool. DJ Neri is here. Good to see you, sir. Blake is here. Yes. Okay, so Bradshaw Studios. Thank you so much for the kind super chat or super sticker. Sorry. Thank you so much. Eric and Diablo are here. Darth Gutierrez is here. Ryan is here. Ryan Potter. Jesse is here. Yeah, I did this. I did this to change things up for just the purposes of actually. Okay, so there's a specific reason that I switched this over. I bought a new tripod for it and everything, but the reason I did is because some of you already know this. When you are patrons on RetroBlasting, you probably have seen some of the discussion around this in the background. So this might not be a holy crap. Well, Blake, thank you very much, sir. No, I'm really glad that we were able to figure out what happened with that and solve that problem. But thank you very, very, very much. You're very, very welcome. Holy crap. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but I'm glad we solved the problem. We can see Laura. Yeah, so this is my old computer. This is the one I used to, well, I should say, there used to be a Mac here. And the Mac is what the vast majority of RetroBlasting videos from around 2014 to 2018, 19, something like that were done on. So then I got a PC because I'm a PC guy, so I wanted to get back into PC world. I'm still reeling from this, Blake, but thank you so much. So this PC I got in about 2018, 2019, and it was over here. It was this computer, all right, where this one is now. And I did the vast majority of, well, not vast majority, I did all my RetroBlasting videos on that up, and I'm still actually doing them on this one right now because I'm still setting this machine up. This is a brand new machine that's got to get populated with Adobe, and all the settings have to be moved over. And I'm admittedly dragging my feet on that. I'll make that a January 1 project, you know. So this got moved over here. But this image of Lara, oh, I see a nice comment here from Diablo. It says, recently been on a massive RetroBlasting binge. Thank you. And I'm running out of stuff to watch. This stream came at the perfect time. Oh, well, there's a lot more on the way, so don't you worry. And thank you for binging the back catalog. Not enough people do that on YouTube, and they just let YouTube spoon feed them, which is very frustrating. Okay, so yes, Michael, it's always been kind of the wraparound auxiliary station for sure. I like where your head's at. So this image is from a very well-known Tomb Raider fan artist named Konrad Majewski. And Konrad, with a K, does not do AI. He is an actual artist. Like, he's an actual digital artist. And he's a digital painter, I should say. He does the rendering and the painting and all that stuff himself with his own eye. And Conrad was so well known, and his reputation is so good. He was the guy who was hired by Saber and Aspire to redo Lara in the game for the Tomb Raider remasters that came out in February. So the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remasters with the redone Lara, Conrad did that. Conrad was in charge of reskinning the main not animatronic, the main wireframe polygonal figure of Lara. But before that, and even still now, he was known and is known as this amazing Tomb Raider fan artist. And this is one of his images. So, yeah. Do you have any Dukes of Hazzard nostalgia at all? You mentioned it in one of your... Yeah, I mean, I have the whole series. I have a number of the toys. I grew up with the Ertl cars. I've got, a boxed Barn Busters. I've got the very rare cardboard play set still with the box. Like, I've got a lot of Dukes of Hazzard stuff. I have the whole cast minus the guy that played Cooter, because he's a jerk about signing things. But other than that, I have the whole cast on a signed 11x14 photo with the 2 cars and stuff. Yeah, I've got a number of things from that. Well, Clint, we actually don't have any Christmas decorations up at the moment. They all are either down or never went up this year. We were kind of busy this year, so we didn't worry about it. Oh, Steven, I went AMD. This old computer is an Intel i9, but it's an i9 from 2019, something like that. This computer is an AMD Ryzen, and I did that because I went and did my homework on the Core Ultras, and the Core Ultras are not performing as well as their previous generations, the last generation of i7 and i9. So I went with an AMD all day, every day. I tried to buy ahead on a graphics card as well, but unfortunately, anybody who keeps up with it has heard about the NVIDIA situation. So I was only able to get an NVIDIA 470 Ti, which is a respectable card, and it's doing everything it needs to do. But this motherboard I bought ahead on to make sure that I can upgrade to the next generation of card whenever they decide to charge us $3,000 to $6,000 for it. So I don't expect I'll be upgrading that anytime soon. Okay. Oh, and I forgot to answer Chronicles' question. So the whole reason that I changed the perspective on this, if you follow the RetroBlasting Patreon, you will know that I've been wrestling with this Indiana Jones game. I did the live stream, but in the background, I've kept people on Patreon kind of up to date on what's going on. So I decided that I was going to do a full review of what I feel is an overrated experience. And as part of that, I was trying to figure out how I was going to film it, because I don't want to cut to me sitting in the chair where, I have the table for toys and stuff that I've always used. And it's not a movie, so I don't want to film myself over, by the television like I do for cartoon reviews and stuff like that when I do those. So I decided what I would do is set up a better angle here, and I'll film all of my commentary and everything, my on camera, right here through OBS. And so I'll just record it locally onto my drive and have it like that. And that way I'll kind of have a new look for this video game review. So it'll look more, Yeah, this is a video game review that Michael's doing. He's at his PC. He's playing a PC game. It cuts away to Michael. He's by his PC. You know, is that kind of thing. So, yeah, where is it here? Yeah, the AMD Ryzen. I've heard nothing but good things. I had heard nothing but good things about it. It was outperforming the Core Ultras. Solid chip, and I bought way ahead on that too. So, yeah. K-Dog, good to see you, man. He says, question I've been pondering for some time. Do you think since the reboots are the name of the game in Hollywood, that Star Wars and indie classics might see revisits, which they don't need at some point? Do you think since reboots are the name of the game in Hollywood, that Star Wars and indie classics might see revisits? I mean, maybe. I can't imagine Disney really wanting to do that though. Like, I feel like their hubris would get in the way, and that, watch me be wrong, and they try and refilm everything. But one, they're saying they're never going to replace Harrison Ford. So Indiana Jones, the latest news on that I read today is that Indiana Jones, Disney is already on the phone with Bethesda trying to get new games in the works because they're so happy with the way this game is performed. And again, it's getting all these positive reviews. Star Wars is a different animal. No, you didn't miss it. I haven't done it yet. This thing's only been going 15 minutes. So yeah, I can see them. I think it's unlikely, but it's more likely with Star Wars than it is with Indiana Jones, because there's too much going on with Indiana Jones that Disney's not okay with generally. So, you know, Drew G is here. Thank you. I'm doing okay. Yeah, I explained it at the beginning of the stream, but this is an image from Konrad Majewski, who is the longtime Tomb Raider fan artist, who was then hired by Aspyr and Saber to redo Lara in the remastered trilogy, because he's done a lot of modding for the various games in the Tomb Raider series on GitHub. He's very talented with that as well. So this is not AI. Konrad does not do AI work. He's not one of those weirdos. He's a true talented artist, and this is one of his images. Follow him on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I follow him. You might be able to find his page through there, Konrad with a K. Yeah, he's really, really good. I always download every image that he posts on his feed. Okay. You consider a game about getting beaten to death by Italian brown shirts while taking pictures of random cats to be overrated? I don't believe. I know, right? I'm just such a killjoy, right? I mean, I just don't understand Indiana Jones. Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, yeah, I wasn't going to sit next to a stack of games on that. I really wanted it to be, because I've been recording the game. I've been recording every ounce of gameplay that I've been doing and taking notes and stuff. And I had to restart the stupid game because the game soft locked me. It doesn't, I'll go into it in the final video, but there's so much about the game that's broken in the pursuit of realism, where nothing is realistic. Everything is just silly. But I'll go into it in the final video. I didn't get around to it this year, but I've got like 3 different home media copies of it. So, Blake has kindly said he was going to send me a copy of that. So, yeah, I hope to review it for myself. Look at it at some point soon. But Blake has been kind enough to say, "Don't buy one. I'm sending you one," which I can't thank him enough for. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, dude, I'll send you a few of the images, because I have like a few of them like that I really liked. But yeah, look him up on Twitter. he's worth following. Still working on getting you a J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy group autograph pick. Well, I read that whole article, Clint, about how Andor is like 660 something million to produce. And the only thing I can say about that is we know Disney is horrendously corporately inefficient with money. So if they're going to be spending double the budget of Dial of Destiny, which where did all that money go? Because that movie looked cheap as hell. If they're going to spend all that money, I guess it's best that they're spending it on what's arguably been the better Star Wars series. But they did whittle it down. It's only going to be a 2-season affair. It's not going to be the intended 3 or 5 or whatever it was, which might be for the best. I don't know. Or they might have left some really good material on the table. I don't know. We'll just have to see. I really liked the first series of Andor. I bought it on 4K. I know some people think it's really boring, but there's a huge group of Star Wars fans that really like it, and I happen to be in that group. So, yeah, it was really cool to see Conrad behind that, as well as a number of other Tomb Raider fan programmers were behind it, which is why that remaster did so well. It's why the result was so good, because assuming fans aren't duplicitous thieves, and if you're a duplicitous thief, then you're not really a fan, you're a con artist. But assuming you're not a con artist, fans will traditionally do the best work. Scott Knudsen, thank you for the super chat. I bow to no one in my love for 40-year-old entertainment, but constantly revisiting it is killing our culture. I'd much rather know the next Lucas and Spielberg were out there working with a low budget to make a new classic. Yeah, we're not going to have Star Wars moments unless they do, meaning new moments like Star Wars was a moment in 1977. We're never going to get there if they just keep recycling all the old stuff. It's really a shame. That's true. That's true. Let's see here. A while back, I got the Retro Last Crusade Indie and put him on my Indiana Jones display. And recently, while moving said display around, his shooting arm fell off. Wow. Well, did his shoulder split as well? Is it possible that in other words, is the joint on the arm still intact even after did the arm break off or did it fall out? Does that make sense? Like, is the shoulder seam split where it's supposed to be glued together at the top by his neck? Because otherwise, it makes me wonder if the shoulder joint was seized by, the paint and the plastic, which is a problem. You got to boil those things. Like I said in my video, I'm constantly having to reboil those to get the hips to move because of how gummy the limbs are. So if it's out and intact, then maybe you have a shoulder seam that was loose. If the joint broke off, then it's just flat out defective. All right, let's see here. We got, I really liked Andor. I really did. I'm not, when I get my Rogue One video done, you guys will see some of my attitudes about Tony Gilroy as an individual, but I'm not going to take anything away from his skill, and I'm not going to take anything away from what he achieved with Rogue One. Yeah, Wolfie, exactly. The Imperial Prison was awesome. It's just too bad that, and I'll bring this up in the final video because I will be talking about Andor a little bit in this Rogue One video. Don't you find it funny that they didn't bother to pay attention to the dialogue in Rogue One? Because in Rogue One, Baze says to Cassian in Saw Gerrera's prison cell, "Oh, we've gotten out of cages far worse than this." And Cassian looks at them and says, "Well, this is a first for me." It's like, well, guys, when you developed Andor, you probably should have remembered that line, because you literally put Cassian in the most high security Imperial prison ever in that show. So the moment they say that, he shouldn't be saying this is a first for me. He should also be saying, yeah, this is nothing. I can get out of here in 2 seconds. Arjun, good to see you. What films have you seen the greatest number of times? Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Last Crusade. I think I caught up with Temple of Doom after I finally started watching it. I wasn't allowed to watch Temple of Doom for a long time as a child, and then I finally started watching it in the 1994. Went out and bought the cassette, loved it. So I might have caught up on that one, but Back to the Future, Ghostbusters. Some of the Bond films I've watched a lot, like Goldfinger. Yeah, when you're a kid, you grow up with some of these films, and Star Trek 2, Star Trek 3. Yeah. So those were the ones that since childhood I've watched them a lot, but I've watched a lot of movies several times in adulthood as well. So so I've watched Lawrence of Arabia a lot. I've watched Sneakers a lot. I've watched 12 O'Clock High a lot. I've watched The Big Country with Gregory Peck a lot. I've seen The Longest Day a lot, so Great Escape. That's one going all the way back to childhood. I've seen Great Escape scores of times. So yeah, there's a lot of them. I couldn't tell you which one I've watched the most. It would probably, if I really had to decide, I'd have to bring it down to 2, and that would be Raiders of the Lost Ark and Empire Strikes Back. And it would be impossible to figure out which one. So, let's see. Yeah, and the funny part is I've been taking photos of these cats. I haven't even found the bulletin board with the thing on it. So, well, Blake, because I run this channel, I have to save all my footage, and I have to back up all my footage. So I've got these massive stacks of, redundant external hard drives. And because I'm already having to invest in those hard drives for that, I only back things up when I know that maybe the disk rot issue is a problem or they're rare. So I've backed up a lot of my rare cartoons from DVD releases. I've backed up a lot of out of print movies. And then anything that I ingest to make a video with, I will keep the ripped copy. So yes, I'm slowly but surely backing things up, but my movie library is so extensive, and that's not a brag, it's more of a burden. There's no way that I have the terabytes or tetrabytes or whatever I need to back everything up. It's wild. It's really wild. I saw something about somebody was saying something about how I decorate I thought I just saw something about how I decorate my my space, but I can't find the original comment, so I guess I'll just thank you, Blake. That's super kind of you, sir. Thank you. Very, very generous. Really appreciate that. Yeah. All right, so yep, that was okay. So here we are. So yeah, I see this comment from Chronically with Stratos, but I don't see Stratos. Oh, here it is. Obviously, Christmas is over, but not putting anything up is not right. What does not putting anything up because we got busy this year with family and other obligations have to do with our religion? Stratos, really? This is a pop culture stream, all right? Cool your jets. Toy Games, I did that live stream the other day, and I'll be doing a full video on it. So I did a live play the other day, and I made it very clear how I felt. I guess you didn't watch that, but it's I'm going to be going over this in the final video, but all right. So it's a very slow game. It's not in any way exciting. The things they have you do are very like time suck gamer related. They're not Indiana Jones related. The attempts to immerse you in a time period don't work because they break as many things at the same time as they're trying to give you all this realism. They tried to make it a stealth game in first person. Well, first person's not well suited to Indiana Jones action like fist fighting, which they try to put in the game. But they don't want Indy to use firearms, and they want him to be stealth. But it's Indiana Jones is not a stealth series. It's all this stuff is going to stack. I mean, I can't tell what you're aiming at. I mean, I don't know if you've played it already or not. Given that you're a content creator, I assume you might have already, and maybe you're trying to gauge your opinion versus mine. But as an Indiana Jones person who's also a early 20th century history buff and everything like that, as far as like what makes something real and what makes it immersive versus what doesn't, and what makes it closer to Indiana Jones versus what doesn't, it's so far off the mark, it's not even funny. Somebody tried to ask me today, well, don't you at least think it's better than Dial of Destiny? And I'm like, those aren't even comparable. Dial of Destiny is live action film suckage. This is very poor choices at how to make a video game off of a licensed IP. They're two totally different things. So you'll get my exhaustive thoughts in the full review. But you got to give me a few more weeks to get that done. On the subject of Tomb Raider, the first 3 Tomb Raider games captured the spirit of Indiana Jones. Yeah, exactly, Sugar. Thank you. That's exactly what needs to be said. 30. I'll never forget that either, because that was eye-opening for me. I get burned out by watching movies too many times. Yeah, I'll catch a movie usually, then go back at some time later. Yeah, me too. I don't. I like to see new things. There are some films as an adult, though, that I will always just throw in if I just need to relax, get comfortable, hear those familiar sounds so I can take a nap. 12 O'Clock High is a wonderful film. I don't take a nap to boring movies. I take a nap to movies that are comfortable to me, that are very good. So let's see here. What's up, Caleb? Good to see you. Yeah, that's true, Stephen. That's true. They do just blindly praise. Yeah, I like Red Dwarf. Oh my gosh, Wolfram Hart. Thank you for the super chat. Michael, I enjoyed your recent video about Star Wars and the Chad Bro Superman that is Man of Steel. Thanks and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Thanks for being here. So let me see here. I remember you once saying you liked synthwave. How do you feel about the newer synthwave bands out? Melinda listens to those because she has like a Spotify account. I don't. The only things I'm able to listen to are on like new retro wave on YouTube, and I like that stuff. I really like the stuff that I'm hearing, but I don't know the bands by name. You know, a lot of those are like compilations that last for like an hour and a half, and I put them on while I'm like shooting B-roll or something. But they're good. They're good. Well, see, Toy Gains, that's the thing. All right, like when it comes to things like this, so like when I talked about Rogue One, or and you'll see that in the final video, or recently when I talked about I can't remember exactly what video I'm thinking of, but you know, in this particular case, where some people are going to be focusing on what's the story of the game and everything like that, like the story isn't interesting enough for me to really index my video on. So like I'll kind of give an overview of what it will be in the video, but like I find the game itself boring. So like the story is failing on that level. So for me, I'm going to be explaining why this whole thing doesn't work. Like as an example, you know, everybody's praising Machine Games for making this because they made Wolfenstein. Ooh, well, if they're such World War II experts, why on earth in that game do you have Indiana Jones? And this is not just a nitpicky detail. This affects game mechanics. All right, this affects tons of stuff in the game. Why in the game do you have Indy only carrying one load for his revolver, 1 6-round load? And then he has to literally scrounge for bullets everywhere else. And then when you have to reload the gun, you have to clunkily use this button combo to pop the cylinder out. And then he puts 1 round in at a time, which makes no sense because it's a World War I revolver. It's an M1917. I own 2 of them. All right. You use half moon or full moon clips, which means you have all 6 rounds always ready to go to drop in. You literally pop the cylinder, you pull out all 6 that are still on the clip, you either stow it or throw it, and then you grab another one and you throw it in and you've got 6 again, and you keep going. So not only have they made the reload historically inaccurate and clunky for that weapon, but they've also artificially hobbled you, because you can literally grab a handful of filled full moon clips, throw them in the satchel. I know, I've done it. And you literally just go like whoosh, boom, and you've got 100 rounds. I mean, it's meaning, and that doesn't fill the satchel. That's like, that lines the bottom of the satchel. So there's no reason Indy should be going on an expedition with just 6 rounds. Like that's just one example of how stacked the bustedness is of the game. And I'll get into a lot of other stuff about it later in the final video. Oh, Netter, that's so nice of you. Thank you so much. Brian, thank you for the super chat, man. Oh, it's a double Dillinghamism. What did you think of Captain Kirk's return in the short this year? Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I watched a whole documentary about the actor that they got to Sam Witwer, whatever his name is. I thought it was really neat. Like I was very impressed. I don't understand the point of the O-Toy clips. I like them. I don't understand their purpose. I like them. They're very impressive. I don't quite get them though. So, but again, I think the effort that they went to is incredible. Also, I know O-Toy is trying to play nice with the Kelvin timeline and modern CBS Paramount because they want to still be allowed to do these. And I'm kind of like, you should throw that continuity away. But they're not going to do that. They're going to play into it. It's in some ways it is. In other ways, it's just watching these really boring cutscenes that cut in all the time. Like when I'm on my replay, I've been able to put the controller down because it's recording in the background, you know, and go over here and surf for like 6, 7, 8 minutes while it does its cutscene over here. Because I've already seen them once and I've got to do the game again. I got soft locked. I had to restart. I'm not replaying the whole game. I had to restart because the game soft locked me. So, but yeah, exactly. LK, thank you. To my point. Yeah, it's horrendous, and it's not even historically valid. Like, don't get me wrong. You can load it in 1917 1 round at a time. But if you're coming off the World War I prior to World War II philosophy with those revolvers, because Indy carries a military revolver. It's got the lanyard swivel on the bottom and everything. That is a military revolver. So that means he's very familiar with full moon clips with rounds. There's no reason that in that game you should have to load those one at a time. There's no reason. It's silly. And isn't that a shame, though, that we have gotten so hand-wringy about our entertainment that they wouldn't do that today? And I would say to them, I guess you don't like success and money. All right, let's see. I know I get behind in the chat. Sorry about that. David Carlier, thank you for the kind super chat. Merry New Year and Happy Xmas, Michael. To you as well, sir, and thanks for being here. No, not that I'm aware of. I tend not to remember many of my dreams. So, thanks, man. I appreciate that. The script is at 62 pages, and I'm hoping to finish it soon. Thanks, Toy Gains. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, you know what? I wish I would have. If I'd have known that this would have come up, I'd have had some to show you. You know, the way that the full moon clips work. Because I've got them, you know, loaded up all the time, just because I just have them like that. Because obviously I'm not running around firing off rounds. So once you put them there, they stay there. You have to actually use you have to use a special tool to actually pop them off the clips, and if you don't do it right, you can bend your clips, and then you got to go buy more. They have some kind of relationship with the Roddenberry estate. I don't know if they're run by them. I think they have like a working relationship. Yeah, it's your mileage may vary, because look, I'm the voice of the minority here. It's getting all kinds of rave reviews. I'm going to play through it and get the video done, and then I'm going to get roasted by everybody on the internet, but that's nothing new for me. I couldn't get into it. Like, I'll say this, Imperial. When, like, I wouldn't have any problem living in a country that didn't allow firearms. But as somebody who loves history and loves experiencing things like that, like, I learned to use a bullwhip. I wanted to learn how all these things work, the M1 Garand, the revolvers, all that kind of stuff. So because I live in a country where I do have access to that, I am indulging in the opportunities that my citizenship provides me in a responsible manner to have those tactile experiences and build skills. But we're not a political channel, and I'm not about to discuss the merits for or against any of that. I am a student of history, and I try to walk the walk rather than just talk the walk. The only problem with this one, man, is that, again, first person. The first person thing is just so annoying, because it's like, if I play a RoboCop game, I want to be able to see RoboCop. So, yeah. All right, let's see here. What feels like Indiana Jones to you may not feel like Indiana Jones to someone else. The new game is successful despite your objectives. I think you mean objections. Even among many indie fans, you can't gatekeep everything. How am I gatekeeping anything, Sue? Exactly what power do I have over everybody else buying this game? And have I said that I want everybody to stop buying this game? Criticisms are not gatekeeping. Gatekeeping is physically trying to stop you or shame you from downloading the game on Steam and playing it. Nobody has the power to do that. This game cannot be gatekept from anybody. Now, as far as what feels like Indiana Jones to me may not feel like Indiana Jones to someone else, I'm going to say that's thin, Riggs, because we've got 3 blockbuster classic films that are the entire reason that they were trying to keep this franchise alive. You might not know much about my background, but I'm a staff writer for IndieGear.com, and I have been for many, many years, and I was a staff writer for TheRaider.net for many, many years. So, I mean, they cited me on Wiki for I think it was Temple of Doom. They cited one of my Raider. I was used as a source, in other words. Now, am I one of the filmmakers? No. Am I one of the writers? No. But when we're talking about Indiana Jones, if we want to talk about it with any amount of intricacy or any amount of credibility, then we have to stop throwing around terms like gatekeeping, because we're supposed to be having a conversation. And the conversation means give and take. It means I'm going to say something from a position of knowledge. Hopefully you respect me enough as a person to listen to what I have to say. Likewise, I'm not going to tell you to go to hell because you don't agree with me or that you don't have as much information as I do. I'm simply going to say, I'm not gatekeeping you. I'm not stopping you from feeling any way or doing anything you want to do. That's not gatekeeping. I guess in modern terms, gatekeeping now means if I don't agree with that person and I feel confronted or threatened, I'm going to call it gatekeeping, when there is literally no gatekeeping happening. Unbelievable. Michael, thank you so much for the kind super chat. Hi, Michael. Happy New Year to you as well. I was wondering how you cleaned your vintage Falcon while preserving most of the original stickers. I used an air gun, and I used a terry cloth and just kind of lightly, I took it and I soaked it. A lot of my Falcon stickers accidentally, like, they blew off with the air gun because they were all ready, but I picked them all up and then 3M'd them and put them back on. But the ones that didn't need to, I just wiped around them with a very, very wrung out, very, very lightly damp terry cloth. I did not go over them with the damp terry cloth. I only went over them with a dry terry cloth. But yeah, exactly. They did a number of episodes of him in World War I. A number of episodes. Just Jeff, thanks for the super chat, man. Good to see you. He says, happy almost New Year's, and many more to you, my friend. Also, if you can read this, you don't need glasses. Oh, well, good, because my glasses are upstairs on the dresser, because I've been reading this book called True Raiders, which is a factual account of the 1909 expedition to try and find the Ark of the Covenant. It's been a fun read so far. Yes, I have played that, Sugar. It's of its time, interesting. Not really something I want to revisit, kind of like Jedi Arena. Don't really need to revisit it. Let's see. Thank you. Exactly. Melinda got that for me for Christmas, as a matter of fact. I told her that it just didn't interest me, and so she's going to send it back, and I'm going to get something else. Let's see. I don't know what that is, Slacker. What is that? I don't know what the controversy is there. I'm glad that you're saying that, because I couldn't figure out. I felt like at first, because I only play games within like certain genres or franchises. So like I'll play the Tomb Raiders that come out. I play the Horizon games. I got RoboCop and tried that, but it didn't really work out for me. But so Indiana Jones, I'm going to play it, but I would, from the trailers, as I've said for months, I was like, I'm nervous about this. So I thought, as I was playing the game, I was like, is this really what gamers like? Is this like them trying to make Indiana Jones like Skyrim or something? Because I played all the way through Skyrim, and it's like, I'm glad that you said that it's not even for gamers, because I'm going, yeah, how would this be fun for gamers? And it's certainly not fun for dyed-in-the-wool Indiana Jones people who are paying attention. There's no way. Yeah, the internet gives it a 7. All the gaming websites are giving it 7s and running story after story about it. It's awesome. Okay. Oh, Robert Diaz, thank you for the super chat. He says, Michael, I am 100% sure the Indiana Jones fan base is not as rabid or crazy as the Ava fans. That's probably very true. I'm sure your indie review will not cause a mass riot. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I really am. Yeah, thank you, Shockwave. Thank you 1,000%. Gatekeeping would be if Michael said, if you like this game, you're not an indie fan. I never said that. I never said that. I understand your criticism over the game because there have been games that copy what Indiana Jones could have done to get around the bad guys or fight them. Look for part 2. Okay, look for part 2. Okay. Let's see. Man, someone's really just throwing shade tonight. Sue, did something happen to you today? Like, did you just come into the live stream with a bad attitude? Like, did something happen in the real world? And you just like, I'm just going to take it out on the RetroBlasting guy. Like, really? Like, what's the deal? Like, okay, clearly you don't like me. And you're fighting with me here on the chat. Even though you could be doing something more valuable with your time. Like, I'm not going to boot you, but it's like, really? Like, come on. Get your house together. Like, you're either in it for the live stream or you're just in it to fight with me. And if you're in it to fight with me, then that's not cool. Like, I'm sorry you're going through something tonight, but it has nothing to do with me. So drop it. Brian Dillingham, thank you for the super chat. He says, there's only one gatekeeper, Sigourney Weaver. I picked up what you're putting down. I like it. Man. Thanks, Imperial. Part 2. Hitman Games has Agent 47 knocking out enemies, taking their clothes to get around the enemy camp. Plus, they could have added the Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay to change first to second person. That would have been nice if they had at least done that. I was really disappointed that you couldn't switch over to third person. And you can do that in Skyrim too, which I played most of Skyrim in third person until I had to shoot the bow and arrow, and then I went into first person. Let's see here. I've played every Indiana Jones game that's ever been made. Every single one. Most of them I reviewed for the Raider.net at the time. And I've kept up with them ever since. I've played all of them, including the text-based PC game that came out years ago, or 40 years ago. I have played all of them. Star Wars games, I haven't played much past. I played pretty much 100% of the Star Wars games up through Rogue Squadron, and then after that, when the prequels got heavy, I kind of like did a game here, did a game there, and then I kind of picked it back up for Jedi Fallen Order or whatever it was, but I haven't played the sequel. Yeah, I Star Wars games, and I don't really worry about those anymore. And because Indiana Jones games are so few and far between, I don't have to worry about constantly having to keep up. One comes out every blue moon. So yeah. I met Harrison Ford when he filmed The Fugitive. He was standing by a coffee machine that was on a table on the street next to the house he ran from. I tapped him on the shoulder, then shook. Oh, cool. Nice. Lucky you, man. That's awesome. The controversy was that Mattel was sending out emails that would be delayed until February, and if buyers didn't respond and confirm that they still wanted it, they would cancel the order altogether. Oh, okay. So it's like the I guess it's not quite like the NECA thing, but it's, yeah. Wow. I assume this is some sort of Mattel Creations crowdfund thing or something. these companies and their weird shenanigans. Doing good, average gamer. Hope you're doing well too. That's a great observation, Sturgeon. Sturgeon. That's a great observation. Let's see. Perspective has been around in games for decades. Why would they limit this? Yeah, dual perspective. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you. That's going to be one of the big things in my video. I was thinking it last night when I was fighting with the game, not fighting actual people, through Egypt, because that stupid map icon goes away like in the blink of an eye when the map goes down. So I feel like a tourist in this game. I'm always wandering around, and you also have to like direct your head down to see the map, because the map comes up and you can only see half of it. So you have to walk around like this in the game all the time. I feel like a tourist. I've got a camera and I've got a map that I'm looking at so that the icon stays on, so that I walk into all the right places. It was, oh my God. Oh yeah. I played the old TSR indie RPG, but that's not really a video game. But yes, I've played it, and I've played the West End Games Indiana Jones as well, RPG. And remember, it was also a Blockbuster Video exclusive for N64. Let's see. Wasn't the main problem Star Wars Outlaws made a genre that is about shootouts and bar fights into a stealth game? Yeah. I mean, I'm so afraid to get excited about movies until I see them. The only movie that I can remember getting excited about before it was out was Sisu last year, because I saw the trailer and I was like, this looks amazing. Yeah, when it comes to the big movies that they've announced, which I don't even know that many of them. I know it was Superman and Captain America, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna reserve all that. No hype for me. I'm going to not hype about any of that. I'm just gonna go to the theater and see what it is and see what happens. Let's see. I got an indie game with my Amiga. That game was frustrating with the old controls. I can imagine. It was what was that? Was that The Last Crusade? The Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, or was that Temple of Doom? Either way, I know you weren't having a fun time. Both of those games as console ports were horrendous. Played that one. No way to really win that one, but I've played that one. World Made of Cardboard, I still think it's next to Fate of Atlantis, the most fun Indiana Jones video game experience you can have. I love the Temple of Doom arcade game. It's one of the few Indiana Jones games that I still play regularly through MAME. I love that game. It's frustrating to play modern stealth games that have virtually no stealth mechanics. I love the Splinter Cell series because they're filled with tools for stealth beyond throw item to distract. Yeah, and also like in this Indiana Jones game, the stealth mechanic. Well, let's throw away the fact that Indiana Jones is not a stealth character. All right, we'll give him that one for now. Most of this game takes place in broad daylight in big open spaces. And you are within the line of sight of a lot of these characters, these NPC enemies. And it's amazing how they can clearly see you standing or ducking wherever you are. But the moment you duck, suddenly their field of perception shrinks. And you're still like, and now you're just this weirdo in their peripheral vision walking around on your, in a crouch in broad daylight. There is no logic to that game. None. What's the RetroBlasting plan for 2025? Yeah, so first off, oh God, okay. Thank you for the warning. Thank you. So Rogue One is coming in January, the big Rogue One video. Indiana Jones Adventure Series is coming. Also, this game review is coming. But I'm not trying to load up on Indiana Jones stuff. It just keeps falling on us lately. I've got a video that I really want to do called Top Gun versus Iron Eagle. I'm also going to be doing an update on Mattel's Jurassic Park Legacy Collection. And then there's some legacy projects that I need to get to, like, you know, Batman the Animated Series. I'd like to finally try and crack that one this year if I can. But I'd like to do some of those 2-part retrospectives. There's some Star Wars Follies that I want to do that I've been sitting on to do those. Yeah, and the 2-part retrospectives are things that I've really been sitting on a while. So, like, you know, Starriers and Crystar and, you know, Starcom and basically anything that starts with Star or ends with Star. Brave Star, Black Star. Sectars, sort of a star at the end. Okay. Favorite comic book series from when I was a kid were G.I. Joe, Marvel G.I. Joe, Sensational She-Hulk, Amazing Spider-Man from the McFarlane, Eric Larson, Mark Bagley run, minus all the clone stuff. I hated the clone stuff. That's where I got out. I love the Superman books from back then. I read Jim Bellant's Catwoman from back then, unbroken for several years, starting with issue 1. Modern comics, I don't really end up collecting many of those. We've only got so much money. But in the 2000s, I collected the Top Cow Tomb Raider book by Andy Park. I have all of those. I have unbroken runs of the individual issues for the Top Cow Tomb Raider and the Marvel Indiana Jones. And then I've got piles of Marvel Star Wars, not complete. I've got the omnibuses for those. I've got the omnibus for John Byrne's Sensational She-Hulk. All my original issues are with my brother. I gave away all my Superman except for my pre-crisis stuff years ago. So I have all my pre-crisis Superman, which is substantial, and all my collected volumes. But I gave away like literally 20 years of Superman because I kept trying to sell it and nobody wanted it. So I gave it away to the movers that helped us move here. Let's see. Good one. Let's see. When it comes to movies, can we get something more original? I would like something more original. Yeah. No sequels, remakes, rehashed. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Ever heard of a UK sitcom called Men Behaving Badly? Yes. They once did a comic relief special with Kylie Minogue that's available on YouTube. Oh, really? I saw the comic relief special she did recently where she was a guest star on Ghosts for that special clip. But I'll need to look that one up. That sounds like a lot of fun. Thank you for letting me know. Let's see here. No, it's not shelved. I was talking about it the other day with a friend of mine. Everything got thrown out of whack because of COVID and because of it was a two-front punch. COVID happened, so it delayed my ability to kind of get that pulled together as far as like planning a trip. So in other words, I couldn't just leave the next year when I came up with the idea to do it. And then when I was ready to go, they those vandals cut down that tree by Hadrian's Wall where I was going to film a major segment of the video. So I was like, what do I do now? And so then we just held off for a while. But no, it's not at all dead. No, it's my dream project. I don't let go of my dreams. Sometimes they just get delayed. Me too. Thank you, Jesse. Me too. Yeah. Oh my God, Scott. Marvel G.I. Joe is. I grew up. That was the first comic I collected. That was what got me into comics. Was Marvel G.I. Joe. I still have all my original Marvel G.I. Joe issues from when I was a kid. Yeah. Love that show. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Great episode. I randomly stumbled upon the action figure line for the movie Hook. They're pretty cheap. I was too old at the time. Well, they came out around that same time as Prince of Thieves and all those, and those are good buys. If like Hook isn't exactly my thing, but it's in that same timeline, right? So yeah, I mean, if you can get the whole line for cheap and you like them, I'd go for it. So we only live once, right? That guy's name is Wilro Hood, according to Lucasfilm. And yeah, there's enough information about him. They probably could do a miniseries. Oh, thanks, Brian. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I got irons in the fire as we speak. So, yeah, I would have backed that, but I already had all the trades from IDW. I know some of those IDW trades have like janky coloring on the pages and stuff, but it was hard to back omnibuses after I've already got the collected works. So yeah, correct, Philo, correct. The vehicles and accessories are really nice. I don't hate the figures, but I mean, they are kind of ridiculous. They are. He is. You are, yeah, I hope they do too. Well, that's one of Melinda's favorite films. We've got that on Blu-ray. I've seen that several times because of Melinda's love for Sly and Cobra. So yes, I've seen it. I find the movie to be kind of ridiculous, but it's an 80s film. I understand what I'm watching, like as far as an 80s actioner. It is a canon movie, so that adds another layer of WTF, but I don't hate it or anything. Which main villain in the Indiana Jones film franchise has the worst death? I vote for Walter Donovan. Are you saying that's worse than getting ripped apart by crocodiles while you're still alive? After falling off a cliff? Because he was screaming when he was being ripped apart. He wasn't dead. He hit water. I'm going to go with Mola Ram. Vare Wolf. Hi, Michael. Hi. Hope you've had a nice Christmas. I have. Thank you. Hope you have as well. Will you ever return to your toy cartoon series of episodes? Yeah, I'm trying to do that next year. I'm trying to get some of those in the hopper for next year. And yes, I am trying to do that. Yes. Let's see. Yeah. Well, I would definitely say that I would say that Short Round is the only sidekick, because Sala is, by Indy's own definition, the best digger in Egypt. Sala is already his own man. Indy is employing his services for that situation, as he did for Last Crusade. Call Sala, tell him to meet us in Iskenderun. I would say Short Round is Indy's only sidekick. And yes, he was awesome. You could say Mutt Williams was a sidekick, but was Mutt ever really... Mutt was just trying to rescue his mom, which, by the way, noble goal, all right? But I don't think he didn't position himself as particularly loyal to Indiana Jones, because he didn't know who he was. He was just he was on the same trip as Indy. So I would say Short Round is the only sidekick. I think I'd rather hit shallow water from height and get mauled by crocs than have my head explode. I can tell you which one would be faster. Head exploding would be faster. You wouldn't know what was happening, and by the time you did know, you wouldn't know anything anymore. Is it his whip that's his most loyal sidekick, or his hat? All right. I've watched Fist of the North Star. I'm aware of My Hero Academia. Haven't seen it, though. There's so many seasons to it, I'm like, I don't know if I want to jump into that. Okay. All right. Well, now that we've reached the end of the internet, maybe I should open a parcel or two since we've been online for an hour. Sorry for the delay. Before we open a parcel, I'll show you this. So I got this in the mail. It came today. I think this is from Evander, but if it's not from Evander, I apologize in advance for messing up who sent this to me. But just know I'm super grateful. Okay. So this is this right here is a medieval gate. Looks like a Crusader era gate from the Levant, as they called it back then. It looks like it's perfectly scaled for almost like Britain's miniatures. So I'm not sure if this is for Britain's miniatures. There's a copyright stamp here. Oh, it's from Disney. So if it's Disney, then this might be the Robin Hood gate for, in which case this is definitely something Evander sent. This is the Robin Hood gate for those figures. But yeah, so he sent this with a horse, but I don't know if this horse would be with this set because they're kind of out of scale. But they both came together. So, but yeah, Raymond, thank you for the kind super chat. He says, "Hi, Michael. Hope your holiday has been good." It has. I hope yours has been good. Speaking of holidays in Indiana Jones, my best friend was in Egypt in November, and she got me an Egyptian Shibira dagger. Wow, very nice gift. How she got it past customs, I will never know. Well, I'm glad you own it now. That's awesome. Oh God. Yeah, so it's got this it's kind of hard to use, but it's got this come on. Let's see if I can make it work. Oh, there it goes. It's got the roll up sort of like thing, and it's nice. It's a nice diorama piece. So I guess I'll put this with my Disney figures. Vander was kind enough to send me some of those a few years ago. All right, here. What else we got? All right, first box. Yeah, she was just a few minutes too late on that one, wasn't she? Oh, good point, Drew. Really good point. Let's not forget Wuhan. Like, honestly. Yeah. May he rest in peace. Okay. We'll open this one first. This is from Laser Pants himself, Ryan of the 3POA. I have no idea what's in here. There's Mezco tape on it, though, so I have a suspicion. Oh, my God, he did it. He did it. He sent me the Indiana Jones Mezco. This is extremely generous. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks a million. I can't believe that you surprise gifted me this. This is incredible, sir. I'll definitely do a video about this. Thank you so much. I know that there was a SH Figure Arts one, but that one, he really looked like he had diaper crotch on that one. And I was like, and I wasn't even going to buy the Adventure series until everybody wanted to know what my take was on it. So fortunately, I got those at clearance prices off of Hasbro Pulse. So I didn't lose out too much on that. Wow. Unbelievable. I'll just put this to the side, but Laser Pants, thank you so much, man. Thank you. All right. Let's see here. And next up, we have a box from Raymond himself, the man, the myth, the legend. What do we have here? We have... Oh, something fell. Fell under my feet. Whatever fell, I can't see it anymore, so... Okay, so this... let's see, there's two cards here. One's for Melinda, one's for me. I'll open the one for me. Since Melinda's not here. It says, deck the halls. And then it says, Michael, as the years have gone by, I find myself appreciating more and more the inherent value of retroblasting. Oh, that's very humbling. Thank you. That is immense value, mainly because there is always more to appreciate. You cover such a wide spectrum of pop culture topics in a scholarly and hilarious way. I don't know if we can call K-Joe scholarly, but I do appreciate the sentiment. The channel has become truly unique in all the best ways. And one of the best things is how it has retained all its awesome qualities while at the same time evolving. It is always and will continue to draw me as a fan. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. By extension, it has continued to cement my friendship with you. You are a friend, and I'm so happy and grateful to have you in my life. I hope that continues for a long time. Here's to many more years of you and retroblasting to come. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year, Ray. Dude, thank you so much, man. That's very, very kind of you, sir. Oh, I've got it. I want 3 of them, but I've got it. I need to put it in a video soon. I assume we're talking about the game. Let's see. Michael needs to go to Egypt, take some photo. Oh, that would be funny. Yeah. I'm hoping maybe one day I can, when all the latest trouble dies down, I can get over to Jerusalem, Jordan. I'd love to go there and see some things because of my love of Crusader and medieval history and also biblical history. So we'll see. This is for Melinda, so I'll leave this one alone. Wow. Oh, man. Whoa. Okay. Well, he sent an unopened blister pack of Weston Games Star Wars role-playing miniatures, the Speeder Bike pack, which is awesome. And he sent he sent 2 vintage Star Wars figures. He sent the run-on joke with Raymond and I. He always sends me Bespin security guards. And he sent me Admiral Akbar. And he sent a very, very nice example of the MPC Ertl Snowspeeder model kit. Dude, thank you very much, man. This is way too generous as usual. But thanks so much for sending this. And I'll make sure Melinda gets her parcel. Okay, what's the... Oh, I have a package here from Netter and Troy. What is in here? Oh, now we know shenanigans are up. Spoilers, open last. All right, fair enough. Okay, so we have two packages here. Okay, we'll open the first one. What is? Oh, I know what you've done. Oh, Troy and Netter, I have a prediction on what you've done because Troy is so good with custom Migos. He and Netter have sent a custom Migo of Iceman from X-Men. And I just wonder, now I could be wrong and I could destroy the whole thing, but I wonder, is there a Firestar in here? I wonder. If it's not, I won't be disappointed. That's already a super kind gift, and whatever's in here is going to be awesome, but I just wonder. Oh my gosh. He did it. He did it. This is, oh my God, it looks incredible. What? This is, oh my God, because I have Spider-Man. So, oh man. Dude, both of you, Netter, Troy, thank you so much. Oh man, I just want to run over to the case and get Spider-Man, but it'd actually be kind of difficult to get to him right now. But I will be taking photos forthwith. Oh man. I do see what you did there, Tim Ward. Look at that. And now I've got a decent webcam that'll focus on that stuff. Man, that is awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Netter and Troy. Thank you. Wow. It's even got some of my favorite ladies on the side of the box. It's got Dazzler and Scarlet Witch, and it's got Spider-Woman on the other side with She-Hulk. Oh man, that looks great. Oh, thank you so much. I'm touched. I'm touched and I feel blessed. She does. You're right, Chronically. She does have. I think these are customs, Drew. These are customs. Yeah, she does have a little bit of the the V cut going on there. Maybe it would have gotten Amazing Friends some higher ratings. No, this is great. Thank you so much. If they weren't, it's a lost opportunity. Okay. I think I missed some super chats here. Holy crap, Analog Toys is here. Just wanted to send you and Melinda the best wishes for the new year, Michael, and thanks for always being such a stand-up friend. The world needs more men like you. Dude, thank you, and thank you for always. What's the word I'm looking for? Thanks for always being there, Doc. Not that you have tuberculosis and all that kind of stuff. I was trying to find the tombstone line, and I couldn't paraphrase fast enough. But no, Tony. The best part of YouTube is the people that you meet who you wouldn't have met without this crazy social media thing that can be a big headache most of the time. But when it works, it works so well. And in your particular case, obviously, with so many people here, like Scott Knudsen and Chronically and Tim Hayes and Drew and Tim Ward and KBA. And I mean, I'm not trying to leave anybody out, Troy and Netter but it's always good to meet dear friends at any stage in life. And so thanks for everything. And you know me, you send up that bat signal anytime, and I'm there. 2025. I hope we can do some videos together. That'd be awesome. James D, thank you for the super chat. He says, it's interesting Fisher Price adventure people are based on real life adventure situations and not a comic movie or TV show. Underrated. Thoughts? I love them. I have a whole collection of them. I just got to get around to doing a video about them. You'll hear me say that a lot when people ask me questions about certain franchises, but I love adventure people. They're great. Especially really, and I'm not making a joke here. It's going to sound like a joke. I really love the Alpha Probe shuttle. I love the Alpha Probe shuttle. But I also really love all the camping stuff, you know, the Jeep and the pop-up, like the fabric tent and the kayak, you know, or the canoe. It's a canoe. I love all that stuff. It's really, really good stuff. All right. Oh my gosh, Netter's Network. Oh, now read the letter. Good. Thank you for reminding me. I was so blown away by Firestar and Iceman that I almost forgot. Sorry about that. And thank you for the super chat. It says here, happy holidays, Michael. And of course, by holidays, I mean Life Day. Ram Nite, the Klingon feast of the long night, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year, and anything else people celebrate around this time of year. And whether you celebrate or not, I am wishing you all the joy and goodwill that I can. This year, I have a very special gift for you, and it comes with a story about a year in the making. You did a video, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends 3-Packs Company, expressing how you were trying to get a definitive collection of the Spider-Friends in that scale. And in a following live stream, I asked you if you had an original Mego Spider-Man. You said you did, and I set myself to work. I'm always saying I have to be really careful what I say on streams because I never know when someone's going to then go off and I end up with Galaxy Ranger horses. And I feel blessed and I feel very fortunate, but I also feel bad at the same time. Throughout 2024, I searched and scrounged to assemble a custom Iceman and Firestar in the style of Mego of the 70s, i.e. repurposing parts from other figures. I am reasonably happy with the results, although I did stop short of adding the flame effects to the boot, cuffs, and gloves because I ran out of time. I wasn't sure how to do it in a way that actually looked good. And this may be a bit of a cop-out. I figured Mego wouldn't have put that much effort in the 70s. I don't think they would have. That's why this looks so perfect. I think they would have done exactly what you did. If you're really interested or do a vid where these figures appear and get any requests from viewers, I'd be happy to share the shopping list of parts with links where each can be obtained. I'll even explain some minor tips. This really has been a labor of love, and I do hope you feel the love this holiday season, specifically all our love from Netter, myself, from Netter and myself to you and Melinda. Happy Christmas, Troy Netter. Well, I do, and Merry Happy Christmas to you all as well, and you and Netter. I will be doing a video about these. That is a definite. I'm almost going to feel bad opening them out of the box because like I don't want to mess up these custom boxes, but I know that they're not taped or anything, so I'll try to be very, very ginger with them. But thank you. Thanks a million. This is so cool. This is so cool. Firestar would never have survived 10-year-old me because fire. Wow. Yep. Okay. I still can't believe Marvel didn't use the 84 Secret Wars series to introduce Firestar to regular Marvel Comics continuity. Interesting thought. I hadn't thought of that. And then they did end up introducing her a few years later. But yeah, you're right. That would have been the perfect opportunity. That's wild. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat here. Let's see. All right, here we go. So I'm a child of the 70s, and Mego dominated my childhood. Those figures would be undetectable mixed in with vintage figures if you didn't know exactly what you were looking for. Yeah, I mean, they just, I mean, even like, you know, you can see, you know, her face and everything. Like it's pitch perfect. absolutely perfect. And the Mego Iceman, I love the fact that he's a Mego body, because what else would he be? Meaning, like, there's no like onesie on him. Let's see. He says, thank you for the super chat, Troy. He says, you have to open the boxes. One or both of them, I can't remember, have alternate hands. What? Okay. Well, I will. I shall and I will. They will be opened carefully for the video that I do. Thanks a million. Yeah, don't they, Jesse? They look amazing. They look so good. Okay. Next box. Thank you, Jesus. We did. We are. We're in good shape. I hope anyway. So, all right. This box is also from Raymond, the legend that is Raymond. Okay, what do we got here? Uh-oh. We got swags. We got vintage. We got vintage Gen X swag in here, guys. Okay, so we have, oh my God, it looks like it could be the whole collection. Hold up. What do we got here? Okay. We have novelizations for Battlestar Galactica for, I believe, I can't tell. I think these are based on actual episodes. And let's see here. What else we got? Yeah, this is like a whole run of Battlestar Galactica novelizations. This is awesome. I cannot wait to dig into these. Thank you, Ray. Okay, and then there's more, because with a Ray box, there's always what? Look at this. Look at that. It's in really good condition. Dang, man. Where do you find this stuff? Oh my God, the spark still works. Man. It's a Battlestar Galactica box. Don't fall over now. Oop. Okay, so we have a Battlestar Galactica 2-movie tie-in children's storybook. We have a selection of Battlestar Galactica Marvel comics. And we have here Encyclopedia Galactica from the Fleet Library aboard the Battlestar Galactica. And in typical Ray fashion, somehow he found an immaculate condition Parker Brothers Battlestar Galactica jigsaw puzzle. Wow. Oh, man. Ray, I see what you did, Ray, and I'm blown away. Okay. I carefully put him in the box here. Put these back in the box so that I can put it on the floor. Okay. We have one more box here. Okay, first I'll take this this super chat here. Sugar Booger, thank you for the super chat. Just wanted to send this and say Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Do you still have a P.O. box? Wanted to show some gratitude for the entertainment you provided. Yes, send an email to retroblasting@gmail.com and I will send you the address. But you really don't, I really appreciate it, but we don't solicit donations. We don't e-beg. We never have, and you don't have to feel obligated to do that. But if you really just are adamant, then send me an email at retroblasting@gmail and I will send you the P.O. box address. But just being here and just being part of the live chat is more than anything I would want to ask. So just thanks for being here. Really. Thanks for watching our videos. Yeah, so now that we've gone through Mezco Indiana Joneses and Battlestar Galactica boxes, and we've got custom Iceman and Firestar Migos, and a literal gate, medieval gate from Robin Hood. We are now at a box from Scott Knudsen that I picked up at the same time I picked up the rest of these from the P.O. box. This box is 30 pounds. And I have no idea what's in here. So here we go. Oh, these floppy disks. No. These are real. This is where I keep all my vintage porn. They're coasters. They're coasters. Okay. I have no idea what could be in this box, and okay. What? Okay. What this is, it looks very expensive. All right. There's a letter here. Dear Michael, I know that shelf space must be a scarce resource in the RetroBlasting household, but I hope you'll find this a good use of it. Enclosed is the collected edition of the entire Marvel Comics run of G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. This has likely arrived too late for Christmas, so accept it with wishes for a happy new year. All the best, Scott. What the? What? I did kickstart it. I flipped a coin and you got the... What the? What the what? Okay. Hold on. I'm going to get this out of the box. Stand by, everyone. Okay. So there's another box to open here. Yeah, this is nuts, man. Who? You gotta be kidding me. Look at this. Look at this. It's like, it's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. It is all of the Marvel G.I. Joe comics, the vintage G.I. Joe comics, done in a limited special reprint set. My God, Scott, this is so so when I got the IDW graphic novel sets years ago, all the paperback trades, I remember at the time being a little bummed by some of the quality issues where you would turn a page and suddenly you could tell they couldn't get it from the original source, and they just filled in with like a scan from like an old comic. It was crazy. And then they started trying to come out with the same editions, the same volumes, hardbound with annotations. And I was like, they're going out of print so fast, you can't get all the volumes at cover price. And I thought, you know what? I'll just be happy with my childhood issues and my IDW trades with all their flaws. And then I heard about this, and I was like, that sounds like, you know, it's going to be a Herculean feat to decide which one you're getting or whatever. And then I lost track of it, probably because I was caught up in doing Indiana Jones 5 or something like that. Dude, man, this is unbelievably generous. Unbelievably generous. God, and then I can't imagine what the cost was to ship it. My God, look at the artwork on this thing. Look at the artwork on this thing. This is wild, man. Thank you so much, man. I don't know if you knew that G.I. Joe from Marvel was the way I got into comics as a child. Like that was my way in. That was my very first comic book that I collected. And obviously I didn't start from issue 1. I started kind of in the 80s, meaning numerically the 80s, and then going to the Great Escape in Nashville to get back issues. I got G.I. Joe Yearbook #1 and G.I. Joe issue 31. I was actually using the annotations in the current issues that would refer back to old issues to pick which issues to get next. Special missions this, and you know, all that kind of stuff. My very first G.I. Joe issue, my very first comic book was G.I. Joe 61. I'm pretty sure I have the number on that right. That's the one with Stalker, Quick Kick, Snow Job, and Outback on it in the alleyway shooting. You're very welcome. I do remember you saying it was a light bulb moment when you realized the toys were going more on the comic. Yeah, it was, dude, that was huge for me. And it made so much sense because I used to watch the G.I. Joe cartoon and be like, why do the toys feel a lot cooler than the cartoon ends up being? What's the deal with that? And then I finally discovered the comic and I was like, oh, okay. I had seen commercials for the comics. Marvel would run those commercials. Find out in Marvel Comics, you know. But I was a kid. I wasn't, I was like, oh, there's a comic book. I didn't buy comics only because I'd never bought one. You know what I mean? So take it easy, George. Have a good night, sir. Have a good night, sir. This is wild, man. So Scott, let me ask you, as an avid collector of vintage comics and the original printings and all that kind of stuff, are you going to be opening your set of these? Because I know that you prefer to read out of omnibuses than trying to reread the individual issues. So I'm curious as to what your plan is for this, Scott. Like, are you opening your set to enjoy, or are you keeping it as a collectible? I'd be very curious to find out. Because my collector brain is sitting here looking at this saying, Oh, even this outer box has a special label on it, so I guess I better hold on to this, and it'll be a good way to protect this and store it. Says they've done a similar for Action Force. Okay, a full reprint in a 3-book set. Wow. Okay. I mean, there's a lot I got to read, but I did open it because my own GI Joe collection is lacking. Oh, okay. Well, I hope that you're enjoying it, because I mean, they were really good books in their day. I mean, like all comic books, they were hit and miss, depending on issue to issue, adventure to adventure. But there for a long time, by and large, you were getting, a really, really great story. Wow. Oh, I'm definitely keeping the box. I'm definitely keeping it. Well, everybody has their OCD. That just happens to be yours. That's wild. I mean, I know that some of the issues have gotten expensive, but I know it's kind of gotten crazy last few years. So yeah, that's I feel super privileged. This is as I hit it on the desk. This is extremely, extremely nice. I cannot believe I'm holding this thing in my hand. So, wow. Well, I'm going to put this back in the box real quick, and then we'll get on with the festivities with Scott. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is wild, man. This is absolutely wild. All right. Okay. Take it easy, Tim. All right. All right. Let's put this back in its box, and then we'll I'll just do that later. Okay. All right. We can only hope. We can only hope. I have issue number 1 as well. And I had it. I scanned its cover, and I had the cover autographed. The scan autographed by Larry Hama. It's actually hanging right there, but you can't see it. All right. Well, we've been going for an hour 45 almost. Is there since I got nothing left to open, is there anything anybody wants to bring up before we call it for the evening? Because holy crap, that was quite the conclusion to an amazing stream. And I can't find the words to thank everybody, but oh yeah, Tom Baker celebrating 50 years ago. Yeah, I saw his Christmas message as well. His voice is still as strong as it ever was. It's wild. I'm so glad that his voice still is exactly the same. It's amazing. Oh man, for Masters of the Universe, do you prefer the Filmation cartoon or the mini comics? I guess mini comics. I have the whole cartoon, and I'm happy to watch it and everything. But yeah. Second favorite superhero, Superman is number 1. It's either going to be like Wonder Woman or Spider-Man, probably. It's one of those as far as superheroes go. Yeah, it's Wonder Woman or Spider-Man, definitely. Take it easy, Atari boy, and have a good Happy New Year to you, K-Dog. Thanks, Rob. There will be one more video from RetroBlasting before the end of the year. It'll go up on Patreon tomorrow, and then it'll be online on the 30th. So, like on YouTube on December 30th. So, my favorite Joe. Well, if we're talking the toys, my favorite Joe was Flash. If we're talking, Joes in general, I'll always love Snake Eyes. And I don't mean to sound cliche when I say that. There was a reason he was so popular. But I also really always have loved Lady J. And I do mean Lady J from the comics and the toy line with the cap. I don't hate Lady J in the cartoon, but we're being specific. But I do love Snake Eyes and Scarlet. But Flash and Lady J are also favorites. And I'm one of the few people that really likes redheaded cover girl. I'm not as wild about blondie cover girl. I like short red hair cover girl. So, would you be interested in a Final Faction scale whale? Well, Final Faction is about the same scale as G.I. Joe. It's 3 3/4 inch, isn't it? I mean, yeah, it'd be cool to see. I mean, it would be fine. I don't know. I've always said that I would find more value, because they always say, "Oh, Rocketeer's like Indiana Jones," and I'm always like, "Look, I love the Rocketeer, but it's not. Rocketeer is more of like a spy smasher kind of thing. Rocketeer doesn't go looking for lost artifacts. They just say that because it's set in the 30s and they fight Nazis, and it's like Indiana Jones, and it's like, no, it's not. I'm more interested in finally having like a film where Tomb Raider and Indiana Jones, team up because of a cross rift in a good use of time travel, but not really time travel so much as they get pulled into the same place because of the same artifact or whatever. That to me would be really a lot of fun. So thank you, Michael. Have a great night, sir. Oh, thanks, Slice of Anime. Good. I'm glad to hear that. And I hope you do well in 2025. All right. Have you read the Sheena series on the Jumbo Comics anthology? I haven't read that. Exactly, Arjun. Exactly. Yep. She's great. I know you have the OG 13 video that's a classic. Are you ever going to do a year-by-year retrospective series of Joe, since we're on the subject? Probably not, because I'm not really into just looking at a group of things and then saying this was the group of things. I like finding groups of things and then seeing a connection, or talking about, if it's big enough, like the flag, then you can just do the video about that. I like doing stuff like that. I'm not so much into just picking a range of things from a toy line in 1980 whatever and going, these are the toys that came out that year. Like, I need something extra to hold on to frame my script around. And I don't see a year by year of G.I. Joe doing that when so many books have already been written that already do that. So, but again, you're still going to see G.I. Joe content from me. It's not going to stop. It's like Star Wars Follies. I do them, when I've done everything in my head and go, okay, yep, that's the next thing I want to do. Like I had the video about the helmet mics. I had that in my head for like 4 years, 4.5 years, something like that, as I kept working the problem. Because I'm not Goodwill Hunting or anything, but when it comes to video ideas, I've got more video ideas than I've got time to make. And I'm always trying to figure out how to make them the best way possible for the enjoyment of all of you. So, you know, I admit I take my time. And then when I do the video when I'm ready. I haven't reviewed the G.I. Joe cartoon. The reason that I haven't is the same reason I haven't done that for He-Man. G.I. Joe and He-Man had long runs on television. So it's a little more difficult to just sum up those cartoons in one video. Like that's one of the reasons why Batman the Animated Series and I have this contentious relationship. I love the show, but as far as making a video about it, I'm very like, how am I going to do this? So like when I did Robotech, for example, I broke up each cartoon into its own video, meaning each show. So like, yeah, Robotech is the show, but Macross, Southern Cross, Genesis Climber Moss Beta, they all had their own dedicated episode, and then I talked about the toys at the end. He-Man and G.I. Joe are one of those where it'd be really hard to distill everything down into one video and then say, and now we're going to talk about the toys in part 2, because also the toy lines for those are so big. So how do you do that? I would be doing, the reason I do a video here and a video there about G.I. Joe is because you do it a disservice by trying to cram it all into one video. That would be pointless. Yeah, it's a tough thing to balance. Oh, okay, cool, man. I'm looking forward to it too. Oh, the anniversary's in January. Yeah, that ain't happening. It'll be. I'm hoping I can get it. I'm hoping I can get it ready to shoot by mid-year. You know, if I miss next year, then I'm just gonna for that one. Then I'm just gonna say I'm an overall failure at life. Take it easy, Ben. Have a good Happy New Year to you, and thanks for being here. I'm gonna finish the Terrordrome restoration this year. I know it's been a year and change since that last part, but I'll freely admit I really hate working with that peroxide Salon 40 stuff, and it's such a pain to have to like wrap the stuff up and put it out in the sun and time it and come back and check. I like being able to work on something that I'm working on, even when it's a restoration where I'm there with a screwdriver and I'm sanding or, you know, filling or getting something ready actively. The sit around and easy bake oven wait stuff really drives me crazy. But I'll get that one done on the restoration front. And then after that, I've got some projects I can choose from. I haven't decided what those are going to be yet, but there are some things sitting around that I need to look at. So thank you for the super chat, Ronald. He says, thoughts on the retro collection finally doing figures like Stormtrooper, Han, and Yavin Luke. Can't stick around for long. Have a good one. My thoughts on that are that they're chasing the fans now. And they're doing the figures they should have done at the beginning of the retro collection. Stormtrooper Han should have been in the first wave of retro collection, not Tarkin. So they're now chasing fan work is what they're doing. Yep. So, yeah, but no. I just don't feel they warrant that. I just don't. Uh-oh. What do you got up your sleeve, Chronically? Do you have any interest in Warhammer 40K? Well, like I've said many times, I've answered this question quite a few times. My brother was and is still. My brother was heavily into 40K and Warhammer Fantasy Battle when we lived in England in the early 90s, in the beginning of its heyday. And he's still into it to this day. He's got huge collections of miniatures. He used to work at Games Workshop in Chicago. So he's a fantasy author. So that's really more of a question for my brother. I don't hate it. I respect it a lot, but I'm not I'm not like an active participant in that hobby. I mean, I can talk to you about F4 Phantoms if you want. I don't really know how much there is for me to say on that front, though. No pun intended. Yeah, I'm aware of the names of post-war airframes. It's not really something that I invest a lot of my exploratory time in, though. I don't know why. World War II is what appeals to me. So, any thoughts on the apparent upcoming animated Ghostbuster series? I haven't even seen. I just heard that they're doing one. Go with God, I guess. Take it easy, sugar. Thanks again. Have a good one. I saw a vintage computer guy use those UV light panels from Amazon for retrobrighting old computers, and it worked very well instead of needing to use the sun. Oh, okay. I assume he still had to dunk them in Salon 40, though, to activate whatever needed to be activated. Heard they retconned those lady troopers, and shops are protesting selling merchandise because the Warhammer distribution is a nightmare to deal with. Oh, interesting. Yeah, my brother's told me some stories about how Games Workshop has kind of pissed off its fan base over the years many, many times with some of their recent stuff. The whole plastic from pewter to plastic, and now they're like saying that they want to start overcharging for these plastic miniatures when people are like, well, I'll just 3D print my own then. You can go cut your own throat, Games Workshop. They better figure it out. They better get good quick. So far, they're not. Well, my love of aviation runs deep enough that I spent an hour and a half in a Spitfire over the English Channel on Battle of Britain Day. And I've not only flown in multiple B-17s, a B-25, a T-6 Texan, a Stearman biplane, but I've also sat in the cockpit in the pilot seat of the actual Memphis Belle, not the one that tours at air shows, but the one that's now in Dayton, Ohio's Air Force Museum, a museum I've visited twice, I might add, to look at all the airplanes, not just the World War II gallery. So I don't think it's a fair gauge to see, what my depth of love to aviation is just by seeing if I spend a lot of time reading about airframes from conflicts that themselves don't interest me very much. Doesn't mean I don't know what the airplanes are, but it doesn't mean my love of aviation isn't deep either. At the end of the day, that's just trivia. There are people out there right now who probably don't know anything about military aviation from any of these conflicts, and they've probably logged thousands of hours in their ultralight or their Cessna because they're very, very much into aviation. And I would argue that they have a deeper love of literal aviation than I do, because I've never been able to find the time or the money to devote to getting that pilot's license. Now, at this point, you could argue it's a rich person's hobby, and generally is. But you log those hours, doesn't matter what airframe you're logging it in. Your love of aviation is very deep, even if you've never heard of a Supermarine Spitfire. There's aviation history, it's a whole spectrum. Was wondering if you read Strangers in Paradise. I feel like I know that title, but it's not coming to me. Help me out, Mobile. No, that doesn't really make my radar. Take it easy, Blake. Thanks again for the super chat, man. That was whoa. But thank you, man. Have a great night. Well, Boeing is suffering the McDonnell Douglas effect on that one. That's for sure. Yes, I opened it earlier on the stream. There's a custom fire star behind it. You can see it in the replay. Let's see. I was lucky enough to ride in a C-47 from World War II. Nice. Oh, I've heard about this C-47. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. I've been inside them and everything. I've ones that landed on runways, not just museum ones. The beautiful airplane. I interviewed the guys that used to do the Red Ball cargo in Burma in World War II in them and stuff. But I've never actually been in one while it was flying. But great airplane, great airplane. TJC, good morning, sir. Did you see they eventually decided to put the satchel under the jacket? Yeah, I did see that. I was like, whatever you guys are doing in this trailer, you better fix that. Although Indy still looks like a box of cigarettes wrapped in a leather jacket. Like there's something very rectangular and boxy about him in the game. It's clearly the most detailed rendering of Indiana Jones that's ever been in a video game. I won't take that away from him, but it does look odd in certain areas, and there's certain times where his head looks really small. I did not see the movie Prey. Pray tell, what is Prey? Well, I can understand why, but there was nothing that was going to stop me from flying in a Spitfire, not even fear. I was assigned to the 366 Fighter Squadron in my Air Force career. They famously were the first to put gun pods on F-4s, allowing them to murk MiGs at a high rate. Oh, wow, that is cool. Interesting history to read up on. Yeah, I'm not untried in the ways of reading up on F-4 Phantoms and various MiGs and, the F-16 and, the F-14 and all that stuff, the F-86 Sabre jets and all those kind of things. Like, see, I'm rattling them off. It's just that there's still so much for me to dig into in the pre-war and wartime history of the 20th century, and that's just where I gravitate toward. It's like when people say, "Oh, you're into medieval history," and I'm like, "Yeah," and I can give you guys, like a general spread of the timelines. But if you were asking me for specialized knowledge, I would be like, "Oh, yeah, Anglo-Saxon England and the Crusades, that kind of like early Middle Ages, right out of the Dark Ages kind of thing." That's kind of where I tend to read the most. It doesn't mean I'm ignorant about everything that happened afterward. I'm not an expert on everything that happened afterward, but I can hit the beats. You know what I mean? Like, I know who King Henry V is, but it's anybody who claims that they're first of all, I'm not an expert at anything. Anybody that claims they're an expert on something, though, if they have the credentials to back it up, that's one thing. But if they claim they're an expert or a know-it-all at everything, get away from them. Just get away from them. Yeah, I didn't see Prey. Dinner tonight was some some sort of potato casserole that my mom fixed for Christmas, and we still had some of it. I just heated it up and ate it. Yes, I do own Action Force comics. George Aitken has given me a good number of them. I've gotten some from Evander. I have a number of Action Force comics. Don't have all of them, but I have a respectable number. Yes, I have. Thank you for checking on me. What if they're a guru? Then that means they don't know shit. Although I wish I could have gone on the B-25 medium bomber that was used in the USSR, to which it went through heavy restoration. Oh, okay. The B-25 I flew on was Panchito back in 2006. I've always wanted to go, but I've never been. I've been to the Duxford Air Show in England, but I've never been to Oshkosh. I'd love to go, though. Take it easy, Scott. Thank you again. I don't even know what to say. Have a great dinner, and I'll see you on Patreon. Thanks again, man. What's it about? Nobody's telling me what it's about. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that a lot. I put a lot of work into it. If you like that video, you'll probably enjoy my Rogue One video coming out in January. Oh, that Predator film? Is that what that is? I'll get around to watching it. Look, I don't hate Predator. I own the first movie and the second movie and Aliens versus Predator. Yeah. It was all in a gift set. But much like Terminator and Alien and all that stuff, I tend to just kind of, I've seen the ones from back in the day, and I don't really keep up with those franchises. It's not because I'm not trying to avoid them. I just don't prioritize them. I'm more likely to sit down and watch a film from 60 years ago that I haven't seen. Today, even though I'd seen it, don't worry about, I don't want to mislead you, but today, for example, I sat down and I watched my BFI, British Film Institute, 4K restoration UHD of Seven Samurai. And I of course I enjoyed the hell out of it. I enjoyed myself immensely. The way that these studios are just pimping out this genre shit, it just turns me away. It's just like, forget it. So take it easy, K-Dog. Take it easy, sir. Are you referring to the arcade game where you shoot all the guys in clan hoods with goggles on? That one? Or did they make a movie? I have to admit the B-52, the Buff, is amazing aircraft, both on the ground and in the air. The size alone. Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing aircraft. Doesn't really interest me to ride in one, though. But it's an amazing piece of kit. He's right, all right. Well, we're at the 2-hour mark, and oh wait, hold on. Have you seen the J-Star Lego Macross SDF-1? And if so, is it something you think you'd get? Is it an official thing, or is it like a mock? Is it like a make your own creation, or is it like a real licensed thing? I watched it years ago. Ian McShane and all them. I liked it. Oh no, I'm sorry. Wrong one. Yes. I'm sorry. I get Deadwood and Torchwood mixed up in my head all the time, the titles. Yes, I've seen Torchwood. Yes, I like it. Yes, great show. I thought you meant Deadwood for a minute because no, Torchwood's great. Yeah, so sorry, let me get back to this this thing from Ragamuffin. So is that an official Lego product, or is it something that is like a make your own creation? Just curious. Not that would stop me either way, but I'm just kind of trying to get some info. Yeah, I've said that many times. I even said that on this stream earlier, Poncho, that I enjoyed Andor. If you go back and watch the beginning of the stream, you'll see me say that. Let's see. What's the best 4K UHD version? Blade Runner. The Blade Runner 4K UHD is mind-blowingly good. There are others that are quite good as well. But Blade Runner is, and I'm not even talking about the movie. You're asking about the transfer. I'm talking about the transfer. The transfer on Blade Runner is unbelievable on the final cut. Like, it's unbelievably good. And it doesn't sacrifice the film look for modern scrubbing or anything. It's quite good. Oh, it's a mock that's now available on Temu. Interesting. Okay. Well, thanks for the intel. I will go look that up. I'm so invested right now in Indiana Jones third-party Lego, though. I may never find the surface. Let's see. What is an IP that you would want to see Playmobil do in the future? Indiana Jones. I would love to see them do Indiana Jones. They've already kind of done it. That's why I'm like, or Tomb Raider. I'd love to see them do Tomb Raider. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm doing Rogue One right now, and then I'm doing Top Gun versus Iron Eagle. I would like to do videos talking about some other movies that are kind of like, I feel like they warrant further analysis. Amazing Spider-Man 2, Tomb Raider: The Cradle of Life. Melinda has been pressuring me. She wants me to do a discussion video or whatever about The Force Awakens, but I feel like Mahler already really nailed that one, and I don't feel like there's anything else left to say on the subject. There is a temptation from where I'm sitting right now to do some videos for movies that I feel like haven't gotten just attention, like Sneakers. I think Sneakers really needs its own video from me. And after Indy 5 came out, there were a lot of people who were asking me if I would talk about Crystal Skull at some point. I'm gonna stave that off for a while because I don't want to. There's so much Indiana Jones stuff coming out right now that I've got to deal with that I don't want to become the Indiana Jones channel as much as I love him. So I'm trying to pepper everything out, you know. But yeah, there's quite a number of films that are sort of modern or just a little older. And then there's some old films that I would love to talk about at some point. But you have to get people excited about your film reviews by doing a few that they recognize before you throw out the ones that they're like, I don't know what that is. And it's like, well, isn't that the point? Like, shouldn't you be watching a video because you're curious? Oh, right. Most people on the internet aren't curious. Oh, well, you know, it really is. Wolfie's not wrong. It really is. No, Poncho. No, it's supposed to be shit. It's all AI. It's a 2K transfer upscaled with AI. He didn't even scan the negative in native 4K. I don't know where you've gone for your information, but Aliens is supposed to be terrible as a 4K. Oh, thanks, man. I have to because the studio is always a wreck. I have to keep some space organized. I need to get a few more of the toys. I have the show. I don't have all the toys yet, though. Take it easy, Raymond. Have a good dinner date. Oh, I will. And thank you so much again. You don't have to do that, but thank you so much again. Let's see. Stranger Things dead, or will we get another season? I don't know. I wasn't really a Stranger Things fan, so I feel like much of your take on TFA would be like your take on Madam Web, a movie made for exactly. But it was a movie made for an invisible audience that showed up, and it earned $2 billion. Loath as I am to say that. Awful film. It does, doesn't it, KBA? It really does. I want a parody review of the inaccuracies in the Lego Indiana Jones game. I mean, yeah, but the Lego Indiana Jones game was so much fun. The second one, not as much, but the first one was really a lot of fun. I can't imagine dunking on it. Hey, Zeus, thank you for the super chat. I backed the HasLab Cantina, and just a few days ago, I purchased a complete Kenner Cantina. Can't wait to have them displayed side by side. Well, one of them's going to get dwarfed. You can set the Kenner Cantina inside the Hasbro Cantina. So I'll be interested to see how you do that, unless you get yourself the Cantina Adventure set, which is the cardboard street that it's outside the Cantina, to give the vintage Cantina more footprint. And then maybe go get the Power of the Force 2 cardboard 3D Cantina to become part of the inside of the vintage Cantina. See, this can just keep going, because Hasbro can't quit its hard on for the Cantina. Let's see. Aliens 4K is weird as hell. Plastic scan, not the worst. But yeah, it's real bad. I'm 3/4 of the way through episode 11. So it won't be long now before I finish it, but I've enjoyed it immensely. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. Jesse, I like I've said, I saw it years ago. Good show. Haven't revisited it since, but respectable sci-fi. I'd have to rewatch it before I could really comment on it, but I don't remember having any problems with it as far as like an overall experience. Really good. Never saw it. I don't really rush out for Transformers content, especially given the track record of both Hasbro and the Bayformers verse, which I know this isn't part of, but it's Hasbro. So I respect them both. Kind of like the B-24 Liberator, meaning in that grouping, the Sterling, the Halifax, the Wellington, the Blenheim, the B-26, the B-25, the Black Widow. I respect them all. But the B-17 and the Lancaster are my two top. It would feel unfair to pit them against one another in a discussion, mainly because the RAF devoted themselves to night bombing and the B-17 was devoted to daylight bombing. So we're really not going to get, a good read on that. They were the mainstays of round the clock Nazi destruction. So I respect them both. You are the beginning of millennials. Millennials began starting in either 80 or 81. There's a little bit of slippage there. There was one stupid article that said, I know it had to be a typo, that said it was Gen X ended in 86. I'm like, no, that's not right. But most of the time they say it either ends in 80 or like 81 or something like that. So I would say you're definitely on the cusp, but I would say you're like the first millennials. You're welcome. I'm embarrassed my generation is only capable of judging a film by the dog shite Linkin Park song. Oh, have they? I didn't know that, Wolfie. That's wild. I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, I'm waiting. I just got my recent Sylvester McCoy, showed up with a rip in it, so I'm gonna have to get some restoration paper restoration glue. That's what I was supposed to buy on Amazon the other day. Damn it. I can definitely do the show because I have all the one-to-one broadcast video tape rips of the episodes. I have all of them, but I have none of the toys. None of them. Now, Master Son, I think, has the whole collection, and he said I could film his, which is probably what I'd have to end up doing. But I'd have to coordinate that. And I'm open to doing it. It's just just tough to get that going when I've got all these other projects in the background. But no, I want to do it. It's eBay, sometimes the Doctor Who store in Chicago, and mostly eBay UK sometimes. And then I have it drop shipped to a friend who then forwards it to me. And then I reimburse him for the shipping. Let's see. Did you watch the Box of Delights? I wasn't able to. I wasn't able to see that. Was it good? Yes, I have watched that. Recently, as a matter of fact. But yes, I did. Fun show. Really fun show. Really good. Loved the whole idea that, you know, this is not a criticism. It started out so like quirky and lighthearted, and then it got a little heavy there toward the end. But I'm glad that it maintained its lightheartedness. You know, it picked it back up, and I really loved the flavor of that show. I ordered the retro series Indiana Jones Raiders figure as well as the retro short round figure. Okay. Well, I hope that you enjoy both of them, especially given that short round is as tall as like a 15-year-old. I wonder if they'll only make it available for US YouTube. Oh. I have not. I've heard it's very blah. So I've kind of deprioritized it, as much as I love the Rohirrim. Oh, well, I guess you saw my video and then bought them anyway. Buckle up, Buttercup. Oh, collection plans. Collection plans. Well, I keep trying to find those Defenders of the Earth vehicles. Kind of low priority. I'm still looking for little odds and ends here and there, but nothing, you know, nothing of real importance. Mainly right now, the big purchases I've been making are third-party Indiana Jones themed Lego sets for some reason. That's kind of where I've been with most of my budget. Yeah, I've got piles and piles of stuff I need to put in front of the camera. So right now I'm less about keeping up with buying new and more about trying to utilize what I've gotten that's piled up that I really need to showcase. So I haven't yet. I've heard good things. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard good things. Got my Ian's display today because of your recommendation. Ian, what is that? I'm confused. What is that? Well, I don't have any of it. I have a few things that Drew G gave me, but I don't have anything from Trendmasters or anything. I will review the films at some point. One of the films I'd like to review is Return of Godzilla from 1984. If you just had to put the screws to me, that would be like if you told me I could only review one Godzilla film, I'd say, well, I'll review Godzilla 1984, meaning Return of Godzilla. Yeah, I like Gogol 13. Yeah, it was a nice hard-edged take on, you know, Bond and espionage. I liked it. I haven't seen any of the new Doctor. I'm just kind of waiting. Maybe I'll watch it because it's harder to watch over here if you don't have BBC America, which I don't. So I'm probably going to end up like waiting for, I don't know, Blu-rays or something. Especially now that it's on Disney Plus. With Doctor Who on Disney Plus, I'm definitely guaranteed to not be able to see it because I don't have Disney Plus. Oh. Let me see now. Display. Okay, hold on. Star Wars Vintage. I'm trying to remember, what did I showcase or recommend from Ian's display accessories? Are we sure that you weren't watching a video from like Analog Toys or something? 'Cause I can't recall ever What did I buy from them? I'm at a loss. What did I buy from them? Oh, well, then you're in good company. My least favorite Bond movie is, oh gosh, I really did not like the last few Daniel Craig films. I did not like the last two Brosnan films. I'm not a big fan of On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I'm not a big fan of Diamonds Are Forever. I don't really like Octopussy all that much. Not, I know this is going to hurt people. I'm not a big fan of Live and Let Die. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Spin Master 89 Batwing. I haven't seen a picture of it. I'm sure it's probably great when if it's Spin Master. They do some pretty good stuff. I got a high-end official cosplay of Chisato's red uniform from Lycoris Recoil, one of my favorite purchases this year. Wow, awesome. Okay. Now, what events do you wear that to? Like, I know there are anime conventions. I know you wear them to things, but like, which events are you looking forward, or did you just get that to display in your studio or something? I have watched Tenchi Muyo, not all of it. I know it's got various iterations. I have seen it. It's very cosmic, and so it's difficult for me to plug in sometimes because it's supposed to be like a harem comedy, but it's also got this cosmic backdrop kind of thing, and that really prevents me from plugging in easily. Not that I can't plug into cosmic stuff, but it's the clash of the two genres that makes me go, what am I supposed to be gleaning from this? What am I watching here? So I know there's like this massive love for Tenchi Muyo. I don't hate it. I've always found it and I stay at arm's length. I've spoken to him on video chats and stuff. Nice guy. I've known him for many years. But no, I've never met him in person. What are your thoughts on grading services? Well, Pancho, I hate grading services. I've said this for years now. You're paying somebody else to give you their opinion. If you want to set your money on fire, go ahead. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, wow, really? Okay. Yeah, Living Daylights is my favorite Bond film. I've talked about it in many videos. Yeah, of course I would. I have the whole collection on disc. I'd love to. The only thing about that is there are so many of those films. Is it possible to really do it justice in one video? You could practically create an entire YouTube channel around the Carry On films. Jared Leto is the ultimate example that failing upward does work. I've never known of Jared Leto as an in-demand actor, but he must have pictures of people. He must have a black book on somebody. God, that guy can just keep getting cast despite stinker after stinker. Oh, okay, Moon Knight. Thanks. I appreciate that. Oh, okay. Yeah, that hurts, doesn't it? Yeah, if you get brave enough and you're confident with your hands not shaking too much, you can do what I did and at least swap out the head with the Last Crusade retro. That head, for some reason, they got the paint work a little better on it, so he looks a little closer. The colors, there's nothing you're able to do about the colors and the muddy details, but you know. And you really need to replace those accessories with the repros because that whip and gun are horrible. I wouldn't know. I don't watch Toy Polloi. No. Only when there's a reason. A compelling reason. I haven't seen that, Hot Dog Man. No, I didn't care to go see it. All right. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen that, Doctor. I didn't see it. Some people said good things. Some people said it was tired. I'm not sure. This right here is wisdom. This right here is Bond wisdom. I would personally throw in License to Kill and GoldenEye into that, but I wouldn't delete anything that he just said from that list. In other words, I agree with all the movies he's mentioned on that list. Also, for the sense of spectacle, if I was feeling really saucy, I'd say, sure, You Only Live Twice, because who doesn't want to watch 100 ninjas rappel into a fake volcano that's a secret lair? I'm up for that all day, every day. But as far as like taking that off the list from my cheeky mention, the only two that I would actually add into that, I would add License to Kill and GoldenEye into that. So, played the Super Nintendo game back in the day, and that's been about it. I don't know if it I don't know if it expands on the answer by me saying, yes, I've seen Robot Jocks. Like, I don't dislike it, but I haven't really spent a lot of time in it. Oh, that would be very difficult. That's a very difficult thing to answer. Very difficult. It wouldn't be fair to a lot of good Bond villains. I mean, I guess Blofeld, probably. All right, everyone. Well, the stream has wound down, and well, Blake, there's a lot of replay. I'll tell you that. Stream's winding down. Thanks everybody for sticking around, hanging out. There will be one more RetroBlasting video before the end of the year. You will see it on YouTube on the 30th. It will be on Patreon tomorrow. Yes, I did. I will not get hyped for that because I'm going to wait until it's actually in front of us and we can assess it. I will not hype these kind of things. That is a crime, and you should be punished. I've already answered this question 50 times on different live streams. Not going to answer it again. Okay. Everybody, I'll think about that one for the next live stream. Love your avatar, by the way. All right. Everybody. Oh, thank you, Troy. Appreciate that. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. Everyone, have a great night. And I will, you're welcome, Stephen. You're very, very welcome, sir. Have a great night. Have a great new year. I'll see some of you on Patreon tomorrow, and I'll see the rest of you on the internet soon. So have a great night, everybody. Talk to you soon.